Recording first. Welcome, Ms. Adrian. Welcome, Amira. Welcome, Ms. Charlene. Welcome, Desiree. Welcome, Herschel. Welcome, Katira. Welcome, Ms. Markia. Welcome, Tiana. Welcome, Ms. Tanya. Welcome, Wendy. Welcome, Lakeisha. We're waiting on a few more people to hop on, and we're going to get started about 5 more minutes, maybe 3. I don't want to hold anybody up too long.
I'm so sorry.
Make the days count with carbs to fuel and electrolytes to help replenish. Nothing beats Gatorade.
All right, guys, so while we're waiting, we might as well enjoy some music. I need everybody to get your notebooks out, get your pens and pads out. We are going to be taking a lot of notes today. We're going to be teaching you guys a lot of things, giving you guys a better understanding of how to approach this business. All right, and we're going to create a great game plan for the 4-week volume month. Also, if you could drop your city and state in the chat, I would love to see where everyone is calling from. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm going to start off. Everybody already knows I'm in Philadelphia, PA. Where are you calling in from? I see we have Atlanta, Georgia in the house. Columbia, South Carolina, Richmond, Virginia, Augusta, Georgia, Marietta, Georgia, Plains, PA. Wow. Philadelphia, PA. Elkton, Maryland, Columbus, Ohio. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Wow. Wow. This team has grown so much. Welcome, welcome to the webinar. While you guys are on, oh, we got Texas in the house. Okay. Welcome, Texas. As you guys are coming on, also, please make sure that your lines are muted. That way we don't hear what's going on in your background. Also, make sure that you have your video on. That way you can see the visuals. We will be presenting some visuals on this presentation, so we want everyone to be able to view them. So make sure you turn that on so you can see. Welcome, welcome. Don't forget to drop your city and the state in the chat. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and read it again. We got Atlanta, Georgia in the house, Philadelphia in the house, Columbia, South Carolina, Richmond, Virginia, Augusta, Georgia, Marietta, Georgia, Plains, PA, Philadelphia, PA, Elkton, Maryland, Columbus, Ohio, Texas. Wow, we got people from all over on this team, guys. We're going to be growing and duplicating. And today we're going to be giving everybody a better understanding of how to approach this business. So welcome. Make sure you guys have your notepads out. Make sure you have your pens out. You want to be taking notes. If you are on your phone, you may want to even screenshot some of these slides because this is going to be some really powerful information. As you guys are on, let's make sure our lines are muted too. I'm going to be muting some lines out. All right, there will be a chance for some of us to be able to talk. At that point, that's when we'll mute. That's when we'll unmute. All right, guys. So I think I'm going to give it about 1 more minute. Make sure you guys have your pen and pads out, and we're going to give it just 1 more minute. Welcome, welcome to the webinar. As you guys are coming in, don't forget to drop your city and state in the chat. We want to see where all of our agents on our team are from. We have people from PA, people from Maryland, Georgia, South Carolina, Texas, Virginia. Wow, people from all over. North Carolina, welcome, welcome to the webinar, North Carolina. So excited to have all you guys here. We're going to be training you guys on how to approach this business, how to get yourself some success with this business, and how to really think about growing and managing your team, because everybody on this team is going to have a big business, no matter what. Because we're way makers, we make a way, and we're going to make a way to get this done. So today we're going to be teaching everybody how to duplicate success, how to position yourselves for success, how to make sure that you're always staying plugged into the right information. There's a lot of information out there, but you don't want to be someone collecting too much information. You want the right stuff, okay? So we're going to go ahead and get started in a little bit. What I'm going to do is I'm going to remove myself out the way and bring up the very first speaker. This woman is my sister, my best friend, my business partner. She is our newest regional sales director on the team, guys. And she is ready. She's ready to not only teach you guys what you need to do in order to get the same type of success that she got, but she's also going to be teaching you guys some things that you probably never even thought about while you were with us, okay? A lot of times when we're brand new agents, sometimes it's kind of foreign. Some stuff we remember, some stuff we don't. It's a lot of information up front, right? And so what she's going to do is she's going to help you navigate that information. Pick out the stuff that you need from the stuff that you don't need, and give you the stuff that's going to drive results right away. So I'm going to move myself out the way. I'm going to bring up Miss Amira Beasley. All right, guys. Can everybody hear me first of all? Type a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. Type some flames in the chat if you can hear me, guys. Okay, cool. So guys, I definitely wanted to get on this call and congratulate all of you guys. You guys showed up and showed out yesterday for the end of the volume month, and you guys been running all month, all week. So guys, you are amazing. And we have a couple of new promotions that we just hit in the organization, so I definitely want to shout some very special people out. So we popped a couple of field trainers, guys. So before I even announce the field trainers, I just want to go ahead. I want you guys to type some clapping hands and some flames in the chat. Let's get them hyped up. Let me see this chat start blowing up. All right, we got some clapping hands, some flames, some exclamation points. So guys, let's give it up for our newly promoted field trainers, Miss Charlene, Mr. Tony, Miss Kalia, and Miss Vanessa. You guys showed up and showed out this month. You guys hit your promotion. You hit your first promotion. You got your first raise, and you are starting to build a team, build an organization, guys. So huge congratulations to each and every one of you new field trainers. And I am super excited for you all. So guys, I want to just go ahead and give the call back to our regional sales director, our team leader and mentor, Miss Akila Beasley. Guys, you already know, if you've already talking to her, you know how much of a great leader she is. She's an amazing mentor, very, just helpful and just inspirational, and she's going to go ahead and give you guys some information on how to start this volume month off right. All right, so guys, type some ones in the chat if you are excited to run this volume month. Type some running people, some running men, some running women, and let's go ahead and listen in to how we're going to knock this 4-week volume out. All right, guys. So I'm definitely excited to be hearing from everybody, to be here to actually be able to train everyone and let you guys know what it is that we're supposed to be doing to create success. I want to thank Amir for that warm welcome. Everybody knows she is my right hand. Definitely any type of thing that you guys need that you can't get from me, you already know Amir is coming for you, okay? And so now we are both pretty much in the same position. And what we're going to be doing is taking this group into a totally different direction. Now, when I mean by a totally different direction, I don't mean that we're going off the grid. We're staying on the grid. But one thing that I did realize last volume month is that it was a lot of confusion for some of us. The reason why is because I think a lot of us were trying to consume too much information up front, and then when it came down to actually apply the information, we didn't know where to start. So what we're going to do is we're going to pretty much learn some things that are going to help us create some urgency within the 4-week volume month, so that way we can keep our momentum up and also drive new results. So the very first thing I want everybody to do, because this is what we always need to remind ourselves is why we got started. So what I want us to do is I want us to take 2 minutes real quick right now, just 2 minutes. I'm going to time it. I want us to take 2 minutes to jot down on our notepads why we got started with FES. Over on the left side, you'll see certain reasons. Some people start up for financial freedom. Some people start up for time freedom. And some people have other reasons that are deeper than that. So what I want you to do is take 2 minutes to write out your why. And then I'm going to call on, actually, I'm not going to call on anybody. I'm going to just accept 5 volunteers to discuss their why. And your challenge is to tell your story in only 1 minute. So while we're waiting, we can listen to some music and you guys can write your why. It'll stop at 2 minutes. One more minute, guys. Ten more seconds. All right, time's up. So I need the first volunteer to go ahead and unmute their line. And I want to challenge you to tell your why in only 1 minute. We're going to time it. Oh, I see Miss Charlene unmuted her line first. All right, Charlene, you're up.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Well, my why is very simple and it's personal. Insanity. And what I mean by insanity is I was ready to stop the insanity cycle of wanting financial freedom. I work and I work very hard for my family. I go to work at 3 o'clock in the afternoon and don't get off till 7 in the morning, trying to make sure my family has financial freedom to do what they need to be done. And I'm tired. I want to do something that's really going to help me get ahead. And working that circle, the way I was working was just insanity. So I'm joined FES to stop the insanity cycle. That's my why.
Wow, that was less than a minute. Good, and I like that. I like that. Relatable. Who's next? You can go ahead and start talking if you're ready.
Hello. I'm Taylor Parker. I'm from North Carolina. originally from Mississippi, but lives in North Carolina. I decided to step out on a leap of faith with Miss Akila to start working my own business, making my own schedule. Due to the fact that I moved over 16 hours away from family, so I had no one here at all but me and my son, and I had no one to watch him. School is out, daycares are closed, and I just wanted to make a better living in a better situation where I wouldn't have to beg nobody to watch my son.
Wow, yours was under a minute too. Okay. Okay. All right. Who's next? That was good. And that's a very strong why, Kayla. Thank you so much for sharing. Who's
No
next?
problem.
Okay. Should I call on somebody?
Hey, it's me, Nikki. My why was simple. I'm already working for the school district here in Omaha, Nebraska. I have 4 kids, one who would have finished a full year of college, but life happened. I did FES mostly because I just really wanted to get my credit straight because I am intending to purchase a home in October. That is my goal. That is all there is to it. I'm not going to let nothing stop me from it. But I also did it because I don't want my kids to make the same poor choices I did because I didn't have that education. And they don't teach it in schools anymore like they used to. That was my why. I'm already another business owner with another business. So it just kind of goes hand in hand with the other business that I already have as well.
All right, y'all are too good at this. You're under a minute too. Y'all are too good at this. Thank you. That's a great why. I know it's very relatable. A lot of us feel the same way. We need that time to definitely focus on fixing our credit so that way we can get into homes, become homeowners. And I definitely know you're going to meet your goal because you stay plugged in and your dedication is great. Definitely looking for another volunteer. Actually 2 more volunteers to go ahead and tell us why you got started.
Hi, this is Adrienne. My why is that I am a teacher who actually teaches financial literacy at the high school level. And I have a passion in it. I mean, I made sure that whatever school I went to, that's what I was teaching. But I'm pretty hypocritical because I needed to fix my own financial situation. As a teacher teaching it, I needed to not borrow from my parents who's aging. I need to get myself together so I can be there for them as they get older.
Wow. Okay. All right. And that's definitely dope. I love the fact that you already teach business to high school students. You're already like at the point where you can go ahead and start to break some generational curses. So that's great. And of course, you were under a minute too. I'm very proud of this. I wasn't expecting everybody to be able to do it in under a minute. Miracle, I see that you're unmuted. Go ahead and share your why with us. And then I'll hear from Miss Tanya.
Yes, of course. Hey, everybody. So I basically joined FES because I have a great, strong like for helping people and just changing people's lives. The only reason why I even, was drawn into it because of the explanation of how credit can change someone's life drastically. That simple change of wanting to change your credit and increase it can change so many things for your life. So just giving those people those avenues to do that and giving them that information, because some people don't know where to turn, is definitely beneficial for me and helps me feel like I have a purpose in their lives. With everything that I do, including my other businesses, is always to help people build the foundation and, the confidence to better their lives. So it's really just that simple, just wanting to help people better their lives and be in a different position, a happier position than they were before.
All right, that was under a minute too. 3 seconds under a minute. Thank you, Miracle. All right, and the last person we can hear from is definitely Miss Tanya.
Hello, everyone. So my why is I do believe that at this time that this is a time of wealth transfer, and I always go by what Madam T.J. Walker accomplished during the Spanish flu, is that the millionaires are made during the recession. And I do believe this is the time of wealth transfer during this recession, and that we're not financially literate and that our credit is not straight. And one of the things that we see is that people who get rich fast, like off a lottery or whatever, those millionaires will go broke within the first year of making their money. All right, we don't want to do that. We don't want to repeat that old same cycle, get rich and then don't know what to do with our finances. So we have to be financially literate, and we also have to have that credit straight if we're going to walk in as millionaires and be successful.
Excellent. Wow. Everybody went under a minute. I was not expecting it. I honestly thought that we were going to actually have to train on how to shorten your why. And it's funny how everybody was able to do it in less than a minute. So I'm definitely happy that happened. Ms. Tanya, thank you so much for referencing Madam C.J. Walker and the Spanish flu and the fact that she was able to become a millionaire, pretty much leveraging what it is that we're doing right now, something called network marketing. As you can see, she had distributors working for her, and they distributed her product via word of mouth. And it's the one part that is so important in that movie is, in the beginning, she had a very difficult time with selling her hair growth oil. She couldn't do it because she didn't have a story. And as soon as she had a story, as soon as she was able to show that she was able to be a product of the product, that's when her hair growth oil became very marketable. So what I want to do is I want to switch gears, right? I want to bring up Miss Amira. I want her to tell her story, but this is what we're going to do. She's going to actually have her story structured. She's going to have it structured in a way where it tells some background information about who she was before she got started. It's going to show a challenge that she was facing, and then it's going to show what solution our company was able to give her. So I'm going to go ahead and mute my lineup, and I want you guys to listen to Amira's example because we all were able to do it in less than 1 minute, so we already got that part down. Now let's get an example of how to structure it. So I'm going to go ahead and move myself out the way. All right, guys. So I definitely, before I get into my story, I definitely want to make another announcement. I did forget one of our very special field trainers. So I want to give a huge shout out to Mr. Avery Perry for hitting field trainer as well. Charlene, Tony, Kalia, and Vanessa, and Avery, all of you guys were amazing this month. So congratulations once again. But I do want to go ahead and get into my why. And I'm going to give you pretty much the real reason why I got started with this business. So pretty much, I was a very young cosmetologist. I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. Went to cosmetology school, started building up a clientele, but the clientele was not supporting me at all. I was not happy, like mentally, I was depressed, honestly. And I just needed something that will help me get out of all of that. Pretty much when I was exposed to this opportunity, I turned it down multiple times. I did not want to do it. I did not think that I could do it. And it wasn't a situation as to where I thought it was a bad opportunity. I just didn't think that I was a good fit for it. I wasn't confident enough. But anyway, right in the beginning, this is when Akila needed a little bit of help. So I definitely joined on as an agent. I did not work my business the right way. And I pretty much struggled for a year. But the turning point was when I went to a live event with FES. We was down in Atlanta, and I got to just, see all of the top leaders talk, see how they walk, see how they just carried themselves. And that's when I realized, like, that was what I wanted to embody. That was a place that I wanted to be. So, I got started with this business. Definitely grew a lot of confidence out of it, grew a lot of just personal development out of it. And that's pretty much my why. My why came after I joined the business. Wow. Thank you so much, Mary, for sharing that why. And the way that was structured is very, very easy to follow. And so one thing I want us to reconsider doing now is, now that we already know the reasons why we got started, let's consider structuring it like this. So if you're taking notes, or if you have your phone out and you want to screenshot this slide, screenshot it so that way you can learn how to practice on structuring your story. Real quick, before we move on, I'm going to actually go ahead and do my story as well. Pretty much before I started financial education services, I was just a teacher. I actually taught in one of the most underprivileged neighborhoods in Philadelphia called Strawberry Mansion. A lot of poverty was in the area, and also the school system did not service the kids in the way that it should have. It actually did something that was actually counterproductive to our children's growth. And so a lot of things that I saw within the school system I didn't like. I also was struggling because I wasn't getting paid enough and I had horrible credit. So I actually got linked with this company by a friend, and that friend actually provided me with a solution to all of my problems. Pretty much I was able to get my credit restored. Now I can actually manage my budget using our budgeting tools. I can actually eliminate some debt with our debt elimination tools, and I'm making some extra money just by working from home and building a team. So I don't have to worry about that anymore. I don't have to be within the school system or a classroom anymore. Now I can work my business full time from anywhere I want. And so that's a story that you want to always have. You want to practice your story. You want to know your story. You want to have it in your back pocket, and you want it to only be a minute, because that's going to take you far. There's a lot of things that you can do with your story. You can build an entire brand around your story. So one thing that we want to focus on is using different branding techniques to show people who we are. We don't just want to keep on posting, hey, I got this opportunity. Hey, fix your credit. Hey, do this. Hey, do that. We want to actually show people value. And once we develop a story, that's going to actually bring us more value. Okay. So one thing that we can do is definitely go live on Facebook or Instagram telling our story. You got to tell your story. That's something that you could do to build your brand. We also have a credit and financial freedom breakthrough group that you can add people who are following you, people who are interested in what you got going on. You can add them to that group, and that group is the group that will give them the information. So this can actually make you look more authentic online. People see you doing more live videos. People are a part of your credit and financial freedom breakthrough community, and they see your other business partners, and they see the success of the company, and they see the results of the clients. That's going to really build your brand. Another thing we can also think about doing, guys, is YouTube channels. Now, this might be far-fetched for some people. If you're just starting off, you may not want to go this far just yet until you learn the basics. But for those of us who are established, for those of us who are sales director and above, and for those of us who are at the brink of our promotion for senior field trainer, we need to really make sure that we start considering more attraction marketing. So YouTube channel is great. You can share some financial tips on YouTube. You can share some tips about other topics as well that are going to help to shape people's lifestyle. So now, instead of just somebody that is pretty much marketing credit repair, people just see you as a public figure and as an influencer. Another good thing that you guys can do is something called movements. I actually have a movement called the Stress Less Movement. There's a picture of it at the bottom. Now, I have not done anything with this movement since I started it. I'm being totally transparent with you guys, and I'm telling you guys, I'm stopping at this volume month. My purpose this volume month is to make this movement something that people want to join. If you can create a movement, you create an audience. If you can create an audience, you turn your audience into leads, and you turn them into leads, and they will be customers or business partners. And so a movement is something huge that you can do. Now, my movement is called the Stress Less Movement, because I want this movement to teach people how to stress less. You may want to do a healthy eating movement. You may want to do an exercise movement. You may want to do a women's empowerment movement. You may want to do a men's empowerment movement. But whatever you want your movement to be, I encourage you guys to think on that tonight. That's going to be a huge game changer for how you approach this business. So just to go back, you want to make sure you do a live video every day. Find different topics related to finances and credit. Find different topics. Find different ways to tell people your story. Find different ways to relate to people. Then invite them to Credit and Financial Freedom Breakthrough Group. Everybody should be in that group. Everybody you talk to, everybody that says yes, everybody that says no, add them to that group. Also, consider a YouTube channel. Consider it, all right? If you're not in the position to start it yet, consider it and write down your ideas so you know what you're doing. Also, start a movement. I say you start a movement. All you had to do was create a Facebook group from your personal page, design your movement, let people know what you want the purpose of the movement to be, and then start inviting friends. And you can use that movement to pretty much share different information, share valuable information regarding that movement. You can share live videos inside of the group. You can also invite those people that are in that group to the Credit and Financial Freedom Breakthrough Group. So it's a bunch of different ways that you can brand yourself on social media, but the first thing we got to start with is developing a cohesive story. So next, what we're going to do is talk about compliance, because this is something that's important. Now, when you're talking about compliance and when you're developing your story, you don't want to do anything that is false. You want to have pure heart and clean hands. Everybody on this team has to have pure heart and clean hands. If you're somebody who we see that does not have pure heart and clean hands, I'm sorry, but you're not going to be a part of the team anymore, because we can't do people who do things underhanded. So that's just a rule of thumb. But anyway, going back to the point in compliance, we want to make sure that we are being compliant at all times. So one thing you don't want to do is you don't want to make any income claims. Even if you did make that amount, you do not want to make that type of claim online, because if you are making that type of claim to try to pique interest and try to get people interested in your opportunity, then you could be really positioning yourself to have that backfire on you. Because suppose you bring them in and they don't make the same amount as you, then what? They're going to be looking at you saying, well, you told me I can make this amount and I'm not making this amount. So you don't want to put any income claims out there. No, no, no. And we don't want to put any pricing out there either. All right. Next, you don't want to share any results of credit. There are certain things that we cannot share. You can't share deletions. You can't share other people's results, because that's a breach in confidentiality for our clients. So what we want to do is we want to make sure that we're not doing that. There are certain people that you may see who are in FES who are sharing results, who are sharing deletions. But I'm telling you, everybody on this team, we got to move the right way. And we have to make sure that we're staying in compliance. So sharing results is something that this team is not going to do. All right. What we're going to do is add everybody to Credit and Financial Freedom Breakthrough Group, so that that group can share the success of the company and the results of our clients for us. All right. So you also want to make sure that you, again, are not doing any false advertisement, none whatsoever. So what that is going to require you to do is know your product. You got to know your product. You got to learn your product, because if you don't know and learn your product, you're not going to be able to market it to anybody. The next thing we want to talk about is leverage. I love the word leverage. That is a huge word for me, and that is something that's going to take you far in this business. As long as you are someone who is always going to be willing to leverage the success of the company, the clients, and other consultants, then you're going to win. You also want to leverage Credit and Financial Freedom Breakthrough Group. I'm going to keep saying that because that group is amazing. People will come back ready to sign up with you. You don't even have to really do much. So definitely add your folks to that group. If you are a new agent and you need to be added to that group, definitely get with your upline and we'll make sure that we add you to that group. So that way you can begin to add everybody on your friends list to Credit and Financial Freedom Breakthrough Group. So next we need to talk about the importance of credit. And as I look at this slide, I actually realized that I did not put anything on it and I was supposed to. So I'm sorry. So this is what we're going to do. We're just going to talk about the importance of credit real quick. We already know that credit is pretty much going to be able to get you anything that you need, as far as a house, as far as cars, as far as low interest rates on your loans. And so what we want to do is we want to position people to be able to have good credit, so that way they can leverage their credit if they need to. They can use their credit to help them generate some more wealth if need be. And also they can use it to go ahead and purchase things that are actually going to have some equity, like homes. These are things that we really need people to have nowadays. So that's why credit is important. And I wanted to put that slide in there because that's something that we have to leverage. When we are talking about this company, we have to really leverage the fact that people need credit. That's going to put us in a different position, and that's going to make us pretty much present ourselves differently. So what I want to do right now, I want to actually move myself out the way, I'm going to go ahead and bring up Amira and let her talk to you guys about how you should hold posture when you're communicating with your leads. So, Amira, let's go. All right, guys. So we're going to be talking about posture and communication. So pretty much what posture is confidence while you are speaking to these people, okay? You definitely want to make sure you are speaking with confidence. You want to make sure that you know exactly what you're talking about, and we're going to tell you how you can do those things. So the first thing that you want to do is we're going to pick right back up where we left off. You want to leverage the company, okay? You need to know that we are not a nonprofit financial literacy company. We have been in existence for over 15 years. We have credit attorneys on staff that are doing the work for us. We get client results and testimonials. You can find them in the Credit and Financial Freedom Breakthrough Group. We have top leader and agent results and testimonials. You'll find those in that group as well. And then you have your testimonial. So I say become a product of the product, which means that you need to go ahead and go through the credit restoration process yourself, okay? If you have not already activated your services, you definitely want to go ahead and do so. You definitely want to go ahead and mail the results that you get back from your dispute letters to the company. And if you haven't even mailed your disputes off, you definitely want to do that. You want to become a product of the product because it's only going to add to your brand, okay? It's going to add to your story, and you could tell people, or you could show people the things that you've been able to acquire after you've gotten a new credit score. So, posture and communication via text and messenger, okay? A lot of us are communicating with people through text, and a lot of us are communicating with people through messenger. The first thing you want to do is use the scripts. You want to use the scripts. You do not want to edit the scripts. We are a copy and paste business, so you want to copy and paste the scripts and utilize them. Do not add to or subtract from them. You want to make sure that you're keeping control of the conversation, okay? So if the person gives you too much information, use the script. If the person gives you too little information, use the script. If they say something that throws you off, then screenshot it. You want to send it to your upline, let us review it. We'll add some information, and then we're going to use the script to get them back on track. If you got left on red, you want to go back into their inbox and say, hey, did I lose you already? If they respond back to you, you want to use the script. And then if they say, I'll get back to you, you want to add them to the group and say, when should I follow up? You never want to say, okay. You never want to say, or just leave it on red. You want to keep control of the conversation. So, all right, you're going to talk to me later. That's totally fine. When should I follow up with you? All right, that's posture and communication via text message and messenger. So, posture and communication on three-way calls. We're going to break this down between mentee and mentor, okay? So if you are a mentee, you probably just new in this business, you're probably getting started, and you might have a smaller team, or maybe you might not have a team under you. This is for you, okay? So when you are getting three-way calls, the first thing that you want to do is communicate with your upline before scheduling any three-way calls. Also, you want to communicate with your upline if the three-way calls get scheduled, okay? Rescheduled, I'm sorry. We cannot do pop-up calls. We have a huge team. Everyone on our team needs help from our mentors, and we really want to make sure that we can help you in the right way, okay? So no pop-up calls. You want to communicate with your upline about 30 minutes before scheduling the call, okay? Do not confirm any calls before you confirm with your upline. You want to stay on time. You want to stay organized, okay? You want to make sure that when you set a call at a certain time, you are going to call at that time. You want to be present for the call. We cannot do calls for you. Your mentors cannot take your calls and do your calls for you, okay? You want to make sure that you are the one that's doing your calls. And then you want to make sure that when you do your calls, you have your enrollment link ready before the call. Before you even call your mentor, you want to pull up your enrollment link, okay? Because you never know what can happen on that call. And you want to make sure that when we do get down to the enrollment, you're not trying to search for your enrollment link, okay? You have it right then and there and ready. And then you want to, also, if you are a leader, you want to make sure that you know who you are enrolling people under, okay? There are times where you're going to help out your team, and you might have to figure that out. That will be in our leaders discussion. Next, you want to make sure you are plugged in and edifying your mentor, okay? So let's go ahead and watch this YouTube video on edification real quick. Now your line is muted.
This episode, we're going to talk about three-way edification. Okay, this is now after going through the PS3. You piqued interest, shared information. You set up for the three-way call. Obviously, we talked about last that I was going to call Bruce at 8 p.m. tonight, right? That's what we said was best. So at that point, guys, I'm going to call my upline, my business partner, and I'm going to let them know that I have a call at 8 o'clock. You know, make sure that that individual is ready to do that call. You don't want to call right at 8 o'clock and say, hey, by the way, I just need you to do a call for me. Let them know a few minutes so they can make themselves available. If they're not available, you want to set yourself up to have someone else available for you. So when you do the three-way call process, you want to make sure you have multiple numbers, more than two or three, right? Just in case someone's not available. And so when we start the three-way call process, I've already, Bruce is going to be my edifier, right? He's going to do the call for me. My prospect is going to be James. So we're going to walk you through this process and show you how a proper edification works, right? This is where it's going to make you a lot of money. You really perfect this, right? You just build this skill set here. Okay, so first things first, all right, perfect, man. So look, I know you said that you work from here. You're not liking your job much. You're looking to change, looking to make some income. But look, man, I actually spoke to one of my business partners, and this guy is very, very busy, right? You're able to take like 10 minutes out of his business schedule to get on the call. I want you to hear it the same way I heard it. Sound good? All right, hold on one second. Let me bring him in. Hey, Bruce, you there? Yes. James, can you hear us? All right, perfect. Hey, James, really quick, this is my good friend, Bruce in Rochester. He's actually a regional vice president in this company, right, that we partnered up with. He's doing over $250,000 a month in sales each month, right? He's doing really big things for the expansion in Central Florida, okay? So real quick, I want him to give you an overview, right? So you hear this the way I heard it. Now, Bruce, this is my boy James, and me and James goes back, man. If anything, if I had to go through a first-round draft pick, man, he would be my top 20 for sure, man. Guy's a go-getter, stand-up guy. He's a great father. Got 2 little girls, man. He's a family man, but he likes helping people, right? So, look, I want you to break this down in the short period of time that you have. Give him a quick overview and be able to answer any questions that he has. Sounds good? Sounds good. Awesome. What's going on there? So, guys, right there is a great three-way call leading to edification. See, what I've done here is, number one, James trusts me but doesn't know Bruce, right? So because he trusts me, I spoke highly of Bruce. So how does that make James feel? Well, man, if Bobby's my boy and he feels this way about Bruce, man, and he's doing big things, I want to hear what he has to say, right? Now, what I did back from Bruce edifying James, I edified my prospect, right? And it doesn't matter if it's a good friend, if it's anyone, you still want to build their ego up, right? You want to stroke the ego, but be genuine, okay? And so what I said was James is a go-getter, right? If anything, then he's going to be my first-round draft pick, my top 20, right? Let's go high. He's a go-getter, a family man. So I built him up as well to make him feel good, because what that does for the prospect, it brings his guard down, right? So now when I bring that call together, it's a perfect marriage. It's like I want to hear what he has to say, and I respect who I'm talking to, right? Rather than, hey, James, this is Bruce. Bruce, James, can you just take it over? There's no edification, guys. Now Bruce has to work 10 times harder to get James to like him, to even want to listen to him. Does that make sense, guys? Right? Because that there's no edification to both parties. Now the prospect has his guard up, and now Bruce is going to work 10 times harder. But if you do it the opposite way, right, by building Bruce up and building James up, then that call becomes a real conversation. Okay, does that make sense? So that's just going to roll right into it. Three-way calls, guys, is very important because why? It allows the prospect. I want you to really think about this psychologically. This allows the prospect to feel that they could do exactly what you just did. Because when Bruce gets done with the call with James, the very last thing he's going to say is, "Hey, James, could you do what Bobby just did?" And James is going to say, "Well, he didn't really do anything. He just got me on the phone with you." And say, "Exactly. That's the system that we've created that now everybody can do it. You can do that, right?" And there it goes. It goes into a very simple close, right? And that's what Bruce is going to talk about here on the next episode. So, guys, we'll see you there. Thank you so much.
All right, guys. So that was just edification. If you were unable to hear that video, we actually just went ahead and dropped it in the Waymakers group chat. All of our new agents that are on this call will be added to that chat after they launch. And you guys that are already in the chat can definitely go ahead and check that video out once we get finished with this call. But guys, definitely edification is super important. Basically, it raises the mentee up and it raises the mentor up. So you want to make sure that you are edifying properly when you get people on the call. After you edify, you want to mute your line, okay? You do not want to tell the person to ask any questions that they like. You don't want to tell me the information that the person already told you. You just want to edify and you want to mute your line and let your mentor take over the call, okay? As your mentor is taking over the call and your line is not muted, you want to make sure that it continues to be muted. Do not cut into the call. If the call is going good, don't cut into it and add your 2 cents. If the call is going bad, do not cut into it. You want to make sure that you go and respect your mentor, okay? And you do not want to have sidebar conversations before or after the calls, okay? So when you go ahead and you call for a 3-way call, the first person that you should call is your mentor. Next, you are going to call your prospect. And as soon as they answer, you merge the call so that we can all be on the call together, okay? After the call is done, you do not want to say anything to your prospect. You want to hang up when your mentor hangs up, okay? If the call is rescheduled, if the enrollment is rescheduled for another time, you're going to follow the directions that the mentor just gave you, and you're going to hang up and do what you need to do. And if you got enrolled, you're going to go ahead and make sure that that person gets enrolled properly. Now, a little bit of information on enrolling. You want to make sure that you sound confident when you are filling out the enrollment link, okay? You're going to ask them for their information with confidence, a loud voice. You don't want to speak all small and scary, okay? And then you want to make sure that you do the social security number last. You want to do the date of birth first. We know that when you look at your enrollment link, it's the social number first. We're going to save that for last and do everything else before then. All right, so posture and communication on 3-way calls with the mentor. Mentors, you have to be confident, okay? You cannot be scary. You want to make sure that you edify your mentees back, okay? Edification is a 2-way street. Both people need to be uplifted. You want to follow the call script, but don't read it word for word. This is going to be in our leadership discussion, okay? And when we go, we will give you that information, okay? You want to make sure you leverage the company leaders. You should know the facts about the company. You should know what to say, okay? And you want to leverage all of that information. You want to let the prospect close themselves, okay? So that means that you're taking over the conversation. You're asking them questions. You're getting them to answer. You're not convincing them. You're not trying to talk them into anything. You are just following the system and getting them to close themselves, okay? You want to ask for the money. If they want to enroll right now, you want to make sure that you ask for the money. What I like to say is, okay, are we getting you started today? It's either a yes or a no, no emotions involved. Do not act scary. Do not get your emotions attached. Make sure that you ask for the money, okay? And then if it's no close, no worries. Always reschedule. When should I follow back up with you? You want to set a follow-up date and time. You want to tell that person that the mentee is going to add them to our credit and financial freedom group. You also want to ask that person for a shout out for your mentee. 9 times out of 10, they will do it and your mentee will get leads. And then you want to know who you're talking to. Yes. All right, and just to add on to what Amira is saying, because she's doing a great job with this training, it's amazing. I hope you guys are taking notes. I hope y'all screenshot these slides so that way we can know exactly how we're moving. But this slide right here in particular is for our people who are going to be leaders, who are going to be developing themselves as people who are going to be taking three-way calls. And the one thing that I want to say is don't let nobody go. And what I mean by that is you're not always going to get a close, but you can always get a shout out. You might not get a close, but you can always get somebody into the credit and financial freedom breakthrough group. So don't let nobody go. All right, guys. So part of communication is knowing who you're talking to, and part of knowing who you're talking to is knowing the personality types, okay? So this comes into play when you're talking with clients and when you are managing your team, especially when you are managing your team. So we did something, we broke the personality types down into sea creatures, and we're just gonna go ahead and jump right in with dolphins, okay? So dolphins, they are very outgoing, they're very social, they're dynamic, and they're energetic. They're fun, they're visionary, and they're people-oriented. But they may have some weaknesses, right? They might be very unorganized. They may be easily distracted. They may overcommit. They may have unrealistic expectations. They may be easily involved in drama, and they may be scattered. So, guys, when you are dealing with a dolphin, it's always important to definitely make sure that they're staying on track and staying realistic. And I'm definitely going to go ahead and give the call to Akila real quick. So guys, while you're thinking about your personality traits, you want to figure out if you are a dolphin as well. So before you can start thinking about who anyone else is, you got to know who you are too. So as you guys are listening to the personality traits, think about yourselves and use this information to figure out whether or not you need to improve in certain areas when it comes to driving your business. All right, we have the whale, okay? So the whale's strengths is that they are team-oriented. They have a cause, and they are cause and mission-driven. They are warm and friendly and compassionate. They're good listeners, and they are caring.
Are you on the
But they
street
might
with
have
a
some
whole white
weaknesses as
truck?
well. They may be overly sensitive. They may avoid confrontation. They may overly accommodate. They may be easily swayed. They may be a little timid and overly sympathetic, okay? So if you are a whale, you definitely want to make sure that you know that and that you're doing things to kind of counteract those weaknesses and highlighting your strengths. Same thing here. So this is our octopus, right? Their strengths are they're very organized. They are responsible. They are prepared. They are analytical. They are structured and meticulous, right? But they may be slow to move to action. They may overanalyze things before getting started. They may appear unemotional. They may appear standoffish. They may appear very rigid and against change, okay? So all of our octopus out there, it's amazing that you guys are organized and responsible. It's amazing that you guys are facts-driven, but you want to make sure that you have that action behind yourself as well. And lastly, we have the sharks. We definitely want to have a little bit of shark in all of us, okay? We want to be driven. We want to be goal-oriented. We want to be competitive. We want to be money motivated. We don't want to be materialistic, okay? And we want to have a certain level of assertiveness, okay? But with the shark personality, it does have a bit of weaknesses, right? So you don't want to come off cold, harsh, insensitive, self-centered, greedy, or arrogant. So guys, you'll find with this business that you need a mixture of a little bit of all personality types. And you also want to bring all types of personalities on your team because they definitely will have some strengths and they will definitely add to your team. So let's talk about team culture, right? How are we going to act as a team? How is our team going to be set? Well, the one thing that we really want to talk about is respect for each other's and respect for yourself, okay? You want to be courteous to your upline, you want to be courteous to your downline and your surrounding teammates, okay? You also want to stay active in the chats to keep up momentum. This is a momentum-based business. All of us need to be encouraged all the time, okay? So if we get enrollments, if our teammates get enrollments, you definitely want to congratulate them in the chat. If they get promotions, you want to do the same. When new agents come in, you want to give them a very warm welcome. And if you're welcoming your new agents in, definitely say a nice message that makes them feel special and makes them feel welcome as well. You want to drop some encouragement when teammates are in need. Maybe our teammates might be going through a hard time. Definitely they will communicate that with the upline, and we will definitely, tell everybody to encourage them, maybe send some prayers for them. You definitely want to partake in that activity. And then you want to keep the chat positive, okay? We don't want any type of negativity in the chat. If you're disappointed, if you're feeling low that day, you want to make sure that you come to the chat to seek some positivity, not put in any type of negativity in the chat, okay? We also want to keep good relationships within the team. So we need to stay professional, and we need to have open, honest, and considerate communication, okay? And then you want to remember that you are a part of a big team, okay? So you want to make sure that you are keeping yourself in check. You're doing everything that you need to do so that the team can move as the team needs to move. So let's talk a little bit about the mentee and the mentor relationship. The one thing that everybody needs to understand is that mentors are utilized, not used. I'll say that again. Mentors are utilized, not used. So mentors, you have to put yourself in the position to be utilized, and mentees, you want to make sure that you are not using your mentor and you're actually utilizing them correctly. So I wrote out a few mentor and mentee roles. As a mentor, you want to hold your mentee accountable for reaching their goals. You want to plug your mentee into personal development. You want to help your mentee develop professionally. Make sure that the mentee understands tasks. You want to create culture and relationship building. You want to establish and implement duplication. Duplication is super important. And the only way that you can establish and implement duplication if you are following the system and duplicating yourself. You also want to be developing leaderships within your organization with your mentees. And you want to be teaching how to build and manage your team to your mentees as well. Now, on the flip side, mentees, you have some roles as well, okay? So you want to make sure that you are growing and developing personally and professionally, okay? Mentees, they're going to give you some information on how to do that. And you want to make sure that you go ahead, check the information out, and you apply it. You also want to listen and retain information, okay? We tell you information as the mentors. You got to listen to it, you got to remember it, and you got to utilize it. You want to keep your emotions in check. Guys, we have to realize that a lot of people that come and start up a new business, they're pretty much coming from some hard times, okay? They might be experiencing some trauma or some depression or whatever it is, but you've gotten into this business because you needed a change. And a lot of times you need a change. When you're going through that change, it's going to be trials and tribulations and tests that you're going to come up upon. The one thing that you need to do is you need to make sure that while you're coming up on these tests, that you are keeping your emotions in check, because as you get to success, you cannot be an emotional person. You cannot rule and judge things with your emotions, okay? So we're all getting to this level of success. We're all trying to be bosses, and we definitely need to make sure that we are keeping our emotions in check. A good thing to help you out is to tune into personal development. You want to stay plugged in and organized, okay? You want to stay consistent, and you want to stay in constant communication with your direct upline. So the person that brought you into this business, you want to make sure that you are staying in constant communication with them. They should not have to chase you. You should not go ghost on them. And there shouldn't be a situation where they can't hear from you, but the other mentors can. You want to make sure that you are respecting your direct upline relationship and you are staying in constant communication with them. You also want to follow the system to the T, okay? Your mentors are going to give you the system. You want to make sure that you are following the system. Anything that goes off trail, off rack, we can't help you, and we can't be held accountable for it. Also, you want to trust your upline and don't be an info vulture, okay? Your upline is going to make sure that you're getting started right. We're going to make sure that you are supported. You do not have to go and outsource any other information, because when you do, you are going to get confused, okay? This is a big system, and we need to take small steps while we're learning this big system. So come in, trust your mentors, utilize the information that they give you, and then as you graduate and grow your team and get your promotions, then start plugging into the bigger systems. Lastly, guys, I want to talk about training. Okay, tongue tied. A well-paid agent is a well-trained agent. You guys know that we have trainings every Sunday and every Monday night. Sundays is our corporate call at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Monday is our Millionaire Mindset call at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. We have the top leaders on each call dropping gems, not just about working the business, but they're actually giving us motivation about how to become a successful person, things that we can take and apply to our everyday lives as well. So guys, you want to make sure that you are on the trainings, okay? Make sure that you are on the trainings, and don't just open up the Zoom app and be there. You want to make sure that you're staying plugged in. You want to make sure that you're being attentive. You want to make sure that you're really listening and retaining the information, and you definitely want to make sure that you are taking notes. Wow, that was an amazing training, sis. That was good. That was good. So yes, all of the things that Amira talked about in her portion of the training, definitely valuable information. I thank her for sharing that. Definitely something that the entire team does need to hear, because the mentor and mentee relationship is extremely important. As the mentor, you are responsible for the mentee's success. And as the mentee, you are responsible for the mentee's success. I'm gonna say that one more time. As the mentee, you are responsible for the mentee's success. So, like Amira said, your upline, your mentor can be utilized and not used. So if you know you want success and you know you're a mentee, you know you're gonna utilize your upline. Right. So the one thing we don't want to get into doing, because a lot of us are budding leaders, a lot of us are going to be extremely amazing leaders. The one thing that we don't want to get into is critiquing leadership and de-edifying leadership. That's not something that we want to get into. All right, especially within our team. And so the way that we can pretty much prevent that is, if you know that you are going to be mentoring someone who's under you, be a good mentor. And if you know that you are a mentee to someone who is, your upline, be a good mentee. Now, when you bring on a brand new business partner, you are a mentor, right? And as a mentor, you got to make sure that you're doing the right thing so that way your people can get success, right? Now, we do have a brand new leadership development team that is forming within our group. Many of us are on there. Many of us are in a different chat, getting different information that's going to help everybody within the team, not just ourselves. If you're a new agent, you can definitely listen to this information. But if you are someone who has agents under you, I really want you to plug in right now, because this is about to really take you to a totally different level. Now, when you have a brand new agent, the first thing you want to do is you want to get them launched. You want to get them launched. You want to put them in a position to know that they're going to have success. You want to get them the information that they need initially, so that way they can actually know what to do. And what you want to do is make sure that you're getting them launched within the first 24 to 48 hours. All right, it's that serious. It's the first 48. They gotta be enrolled within the launch within the first 48. If not, you have just pretty much wasted someone else's investment. Or if you invested in that person, then you wasted your own investment, because you did not plug them into the system that was going to get them in a position to make a return on their investment. So we need to make sure that we're doing new agent launches right away. We need to duplicate the success. We need all of our new agents plugged into the system from jump. We need to guide them to the money. That's what we're supposed to be doing as mentors, guiding people to the money. We need to help the mentees set their very first goal. And we need to use feslaunch.com, password freedom. It's simple. So as soon as you enroll your new agent, immediately after you enroll them and they get their emails from the company, they should also get a text from you with feslaunch.com, password freedom. You also should send them information on how to activate their credit services. That way they will be doing everything that they need to do before you set up the Zoom call to actually walk them through the launch document. So you want to make sure that you tell them to watch the first 3 videos. And then as soon as that's done, you're setting up that one-on-one launch on Zoom within the first 48, okay? Your person needs to get plugged in right away. Now, this video that we're going to watch is a 10-minute video. It's actually teaching everybody how to get the sales director. All right? It's teaching you how to do it step by step from the beginning as a new agent all the way down to the end. So if you know for sure you're going to be a sales director, first of all, what I want you to do is type the letters SD in the chat, because I want to see who's running for SD within a 4-week volume month. Okay, Miss Adrian said SD. Oh, Wendy SD, Katira SD, Charlene SD, Herschel SD, Tanya SD, Markia SD, Kalia SD. Dang, I'm out of breath. Yes, SD. All right. So take y'all notes out. Make sure you're writing, because we're going to go ahead and hit SD.
All right, hey everyone, this is Bill Conley, Vice President with FES. Now, I joined FES 4/11/17, so that's about a year and a half ago. And I just want to quickly let you know that this business, these products have absolutely changed my life. The first thing going in, I was more concerned about fixing my credit. It attracted me to this business due to the fact that they had credit repair, credit restoration, and all the other amazing products, you know, that go along with it. So first go around, did my dispute forms with FES. 4 out of 5 judgments got deleted. I have that on video to prove that to you if you need any social proof like some people do. But 4 out of 5 items were deleted the first go around, and I was really, really excited. And I said, you know what? I have to get this out to other people. So you can make one of our live Zoom webinars where we go over the products and the compensation plan in depth. But what I want to do right now is give you a quick overview of how you can hit sales director in 30 days, okay? The comp plan for FES, 30 days to sales director, okay? So we're going to go right into this. So, hey, great. You come on board and you sign up, okay? You're an agent. Welcome to the team. So first, here's you at the top. You can see you at the top. And your goal is to become field trainer your very first week. Your very first week, your goal is to go out there and become field trainer. And how you do that is when you come on board with FES, you're going to get 400 points in volume directly for your sign up. Okay, so you sign up, you have 400 points for an agent as soon as you sign up. Your goal then is to go out and find 2 business partners your very first week, okay, getting 400 and 400. That will be 800 more volume and your 400. And then you want to go out, and the red is making sales of the FES Protection Plan membership. Because for each customer that you bring on with FES, you're going to get 200 in volume. So agents are 400, customers are 200. So for this example, we're using you as the top. You get 400 in volume for your sign up. You go out and get 2 business partners, agents. You get 400 and 400. That's 800. And then you go out and you make 3 sales of the Protection Plan membership to help people fix their credit, and you will get 200.
I got blueberry and pineapple.
And that total all together, 1,800, and making you a field trainer. And that's the first rank up in the company. We want to do this as quickly as possible. All right, we want to do this as quickly as possible so we can get you off and going, get you ranked up, get you making your money back and be in the profit and celebrate you with that first rank up. So, you know, this is how you want to go about your first week in getting you to the field trainer level. That's what we want to do. That's important. And getting your agents to duplicate that the second week. So they come on board and their first week is, to become a field trainer as well. So we have you in the first week, right? We got you to field trainer. You got your 1,800 in volume. You got your rank up. And now we want to get those 2 agents that you brought in to do the same exact thing. 2 agents each, 3 protection plan memberships, and boom. Now in the second week, you have 4 new agents in your organization from the 2 agents you brought on. And that's 1,600 in volume, 400, 400, 400, 400. And then you want those 2 new agents to go out and get 3 sales each, 200, 200, 200, 200, 200, 200, and that's 1,200 for a grand total of 2,800 that your 2 agents brought into it. Plus your 1,800 that you created gives you a grand total of 4,600 in points or volume, okay? Inches away from the 5,000. You just need 400 more, and then you become a senior field trainer. All right, so basically what happens is now you have a total of 4,600 in volume. You have 3 agents who are starting to duplicate, becoming field trainers, and then you enroll 1 more agent yourself, so that's your 3rd agent, and you want to help them get 2 agents and 3 sales. All right, that new agent is going to give you 1,800 more volume. And you add that to all the other weeks, the 4,600, and then this new 1,800 in week 3, and now you're at 6,400 in total points or volume on your team, and that hits the rank of senior field trainer. All right, once you become an agent and you bring on your first couple agents, you make $100 a person. Once you go to field trainer, you make $160 when you bring on an agent. It starts getting good. But when you hit this rank of senior field trainer, now for every agent you bring in, you're getting $240 helping them get 2 customers. How powerful is that? So that's what you want to do. You want to come on board. You want to hit field trainer first, and then we want to get you to the senior field trainer. So you have your 2 field trainers right here. You bring on your brand new agent. You work with them to become a field trainer, and that's where you're at, the spot right here, number 4, of hitting the rank of senior field trainer with that 6,400 total volume. All right, so check this out. Now that's you right there. And you got your agents, you got your team being built. And week 4, 2 agents duplicate their enroller. All right, so you want your 2 agents to just duplicate what you did, becoming senior field trainers, and boom, now you're up to 11,000 in volume, hitting the rank of sales director, okay? So week 4 is where you're gonna push hard to become that sales director. And then at that level, you're making $360 when you bring on an agent. All right, if any of your agents bring on an agent, whatever rank they're at, they get their money, and whatever left over will roll up to the 380 part, and that's how the passive money goes. So in week 4, you have your 2 agents you want to duplicate with them. Points from week 3 is 1,800. Points for week 4 is 2,800 for a grand total of the 4,600. Then you want to duplicate that, getting you to the 11,000, hitting the rank of sales director, right? How cool is that? So I just wanted to put this quickly together. Remember, you make 400 in volume for each agent, brand new, that you bring on board, 200 for each new customer that you bring on board. The second month, this is why you want to do it in a 4-week process, because you're utilizing all the 400s in volume, all the 200s in volume. Because once someone makes their second payment, meaning they're in the next cycle, you only get 85 volume for an agent because they're making an $89 payment, and you get $100 in volume for a customer. So that's why you want to get off on a quick start using your 400, the new agents is 400, and work week 1 to get the field trainer, week 2 to get the senior field trainer, and follow this process right here. So if you need to watch this video again, watch it again. If you need to share it with your team members, the whole goal is to break field trainers in the first week, hopefully the first couple days. All right, so you come on board, you're an agent. Let's go back to that. So you come on board and you're an agent, and the whole goal, this is the most critical part right here. This is the most critical part, is you want to go out and get your 2 agents and get 3 customers. Think about that. Go out, get 2 agents, 3 customers. Then you want to help your 2 agents to duplicate that. You just keep that process going. Every brand new agent that you bring on your team, your focus is how quickly can you get them to field training. Week 1 is the goal. All right. Week 2 is to get your 2 new agents, because you can only become a field trainer with 2 agents or more, is to get your new agents to field trainer as quickly as possible. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. I appreciate you all. If you have any questions or anything like that, just definitely get back with me, get back with your upline, whoever you need to, and just really understand this comp plan. All right, have a great day.
All right. So who's hitting SD? Let me see the chats. Let me see SD in the chat. I want to see who's going SD this month. Yes, yes. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. Yes, 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 yes. We hitting it. Okay, 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 team. Nice. All right. So now I'm gonna tell you guys what we need to actually pay attention to, because this is gonna help you track your goals. You already know what the goals are. This video was dropped in the chat. That way everybody is able to always reference it. That way it's gonna keep you on track, knowing what you gotta do this month. So you need to track your goals using this, the 4-4-5 calendar. Now, as you can see, this is the week that we are in right now, right? This is week 1 of a 4-week volume month. We only got 4 weeks to hit our goals. Today is day 1, July 19th, 2020. This is day 1 of the volume month. The very last day is August 15th, 2020. So we need to all hit our goals, not by the 15th. We need to hit them on the 13th. So that way, the next 2 days are just grace, okay? And so everybody that said they was hitting SD need to do it by August 13th. So if you are jotting down notes, your goal date is August 13th, and make sure you write down your goal. All right, let's meet our lines, please. All right. So for SD, you need 3 field trainers, 10,000 in volume. They all need to be personally enrolled. They need to be your field trainers, okay? Your upline can't help you hit this goal. This is the money spot. All right, our SDs are making $330 every time they bring in a new line of business. So you really want to hit this. Next stop is RSD. That's where Mira hit. All right, and then it only goes up from there. So this is going to really help us track our goals. Our work week always starts on a Sunday and it always ends on a Saturday. All right, it does end at 3 a.m., but we say 12 midnight for this group because we need to give ourselves some grace. All right, I like to stay a little bit ahead of deadlines, that way we actually meet them. All right, so now we need to talk about the system, duplicate and success. This is pretty much going to save you some time, some energy, and it's going to make you some money. So we got to make sure that we duplicate success and follow the system. So this is our 7-step system that our company goes by. The first step is to promote. You want to invite and market using the launch script, text message scripts, offline and online social media strategy, and trial runs. So if you guys need any of these scripts, we will share them. We actually have them. I have a game plan that we're going to share real quick later on as well. And the game plan has all the scripts that we'll need for success. You also want to expose the information, allow people to see, hear the experience of the products and services, leverage the marketing tools both online and offline. So for our clients, we use that UCESprotectionplan.com website. And for when we're talking to our agents, we can either use our own FES Connect site, or we can use the Freedom 500. I like the Freedom 500 a little better, but FES Connect is shorter. All right, so either of those are good for when you're communicating with agents. You also want to make sure that you get a response. This requires you to set up a 3-way call. Nobody should be talking to people on their own. You need to leverage your upline. You need to leverage your mentor. You need to leverage someone who is a leader, okay? So You guys are going to know who the leaders within this team are very soon because we're training them this week so that way they can be available to you guys for calls. So you guys are going to be responsible for setting up three-way calls with your uplines. Again, do not talk to anyone on your own. You will not close the deal. You will talk yourself out of a sale. You don't want to do that, all right? Also, everybody needs to know how to enroll clients and agents. That's what we get paid for. So if you don't know where your enrollment links are, you don't know how to get paid. And that's not cool. So we're going to show you how to do that too later on. Also, you want to make sure that you start your services, become a product of the product. Learn how to tell and grow your story by becoming a product of the product. Also, get started right. You want to use the system to have success, and you want to get trained, all right? So this is the 7-step system. As long as we keep recycling this system, everybody on this team is going to have success. All right, so the next thing we're going to talk about is mindset and leadership. All right, this is a nice video discussing mindset. This is by someone who is actually a millionaire, probably even billionaire, Jim Rohn. He's actually a professional network marketer. He is a groundbreaking coach, and he does a lot for the people that are in our industry of marketing. So we're going to go ahead and listen to him and listen to how our mindset actually needs to be in order to grow and duplicate this business.
Whatever it takes to get you to try harder, read more, set your goals, and go for it. Here's the next attitude disease. Pessimism, the deadly disease of always looking on the bad side, the problem side, the difficult side, checking all the reasons why it can't be done. The poor pessimist leads an ugly life. He doesn't try to figure out what's right. He tries to figure out what's wrong. He doesn't look for virtue. He looks for faults. And when he finds them, he's delighted. How ugly. This is the poor guy who looks through the window, doesn't see the sunset. He sees the specks on the window. And this is the poor guy, right, who rushes up, takes such leave of his senses. This guy rushes up and he says, I've got 5 good reasons why it won't work. He's so dumb, he doesn't know. All he needs 1. He's got 5. To the pessimist, the glass is always half empty. To the optimist, the glass is half full. Why would the same measure affect people 2 different ways? Answer, it all depends on how you look at it. Our lives are mostly affected by the way we think things are, not the way they are. The way we think they are affects us most. There's a subject we don't have time to get into tonight called better thinking habits. One of the major things Shoaff taught me when I met him, he said, poor thinking habits keeps most people poor. Not poor working habits. Most people work hard, but they don't think hard. And Shoaff taught me that the mind is like a factory, a mental factory. And whatever you think about all day long pours ingredients into this mental factory. And that's what builds the economic, social, financial fabric of your life. He quoted me a Bible phrase that says, as you think, so you become. How awesome. When he talked about poor thinking habits, he had me. I used to start the day reading the morning newspaper. I mean, you can believe that or not. I'd get a cup of coffee and read the paper. I'd load up on wars and riots and murders and stabbings and killings and bank robberies and muggings and car wrecks and tragedies. I'd even read the back pages. I seem to like that stuff for some weird reason. I'd load up on all that, and then I'd start the day. You can imagine the kind of days I used to have. You walk around on your financial needs. They call you economic peewee. The guy says, I want to be a great leader. Wonderful. The first thing we do is follow him to his house. When we get there, we walk in and check his library, number 1. Somebody says, well, why check his library? The reason is because what a man reads pours massive ingredients into his mental factory, and the fabric of his life is built from those ingredients. You would not believe what some people have got in their house to read. You would not believe. One of the best dressed up words I know for a lot of it is trash. Can you imagine dumping a barrel of trash into this mental factory every day and coming out with a rich, dynamic, positive life? It can't be done. You might as well try making a cake with cement. The kids back in Danbury, Connecticut, high school, they're asking me questions one day. I'm talking to the kids. Kids got good questions these days. One of them said to me, Mr. Rohn, how do you build the good life? I said, it's simple. It's not easy, but it's simple. Here's how you build anything. Select the right ingredients, keep out the wrong ingredients, and it starts with thought. Everything starts with thought. So you must be wise and careful what you think about, because that starts everything. You got to be wise and careful. I asked the kids, what would happen if somebody dropped sugar in my coffee? They said, well, you'd be okay. I said, what if somebody dropped strychnine in my coffee? They said, well, you'd be dead. I said, correct. Lesson 1. Life is both sugar and strychnine. You gotta be careful. I said, what if my worst enemy drops in the sugar? They said, will you be okay? I said, what if my best friend, even by accident, drops in the strychnine? They said, well, you'd be dead. I said, correct. Lesson 2, watch your coffee. You got to be careful. See, it doesn't matter who hands you the bad stuff. It doesn't matter where you get the bad stuff. It'll still do its damage on your bank account. Wherever you get it. Mr. Schoaf gave me one of the greatest phrases when I first met him when he said, Jim, every day stand guard at the door of your mind. How important. Stand guard at the door of your mind. And you decide what goes into your mental factory. Don't let anybody just dump anything they want to in your mental factory, because you've got to live with the results. Okay, here's the last disease, and we're through with this list. In fact, we're almost through. Hang on. The last disease, but this one is deadly. Engage in this one, indulge in it even slightly, and you might as well forget the future, because it's going to forget you. Complaining, crying, whining, griping. A Bible word called murmuring. See, that'll ace your future. Spend 5 minutes complaining, and you have wasted 5. And you may have begun what's known as economic cancer of the bone. Surely they will soon haul you off into a financial desert and there let you choke on the dust of your own regret. I hope I said that well. Just be on the lookout of the things that can destroy all the good you start. The war is on. And this evening, tomorrow, mentally, personally, socially, economically, you got to make sure you're winning the war.
All right, so y'all heard that. So the reason why I played that video is because we got to really make sure that our mindset is exactly where it needs to be at all times. Mindset is so important. It's going to definitely be the determining factor as to whether or not we're actually helping people or not. You can't pour from an empty cup. And the part about this that he said that really stood out to me was that you got to make sure that you are paying attention to what you're putting your mind on first thing in the morning. A lot of us are actually affected by some of the things that we see on the TV, some of the things that's happening within our community, as we should be. You know what I mean? This whole thing that's going on with Black Lives Matter, everything that's going on with COVID, everything that's just going on with people, period, just lets us know how much of a dire need we are in for a change. We need a change. And so honestly, as consultants with this company, you actually have the change to a lot of people's lives in your back pocket. All right, you have the change. And if you want to actually be the change, you got to make sure you got the right mindset, because if you begin to let certain things consume your thoughts and affect how you work your business, then you also are going to let that affect how many people you can help. And you want to be a help to people. You don't want to kind of like, blend in with everybody. You need to stand out and actually help people. There's too many people complaining. We don't need anybody on this team complaining. So mindset is important. Success loves speed. The 5 minutes that you spent being upset on something was 5 minutes that you could have been spending copy and pasting conversation starters in people's inbox. I'm just saying. So this is our game plan, guys. Everybody on this team needs to be striving for field trainer. Even if you're going for SD, you need to be striving for field trainer for your team. Okay, you need to be helping them. You need to be holding them accountable. You need to be doing that. Now, one thing you don't want to do is micromanage anyone. If you see any of your mentees that aren't pulling their weight, leave them behind. And I say that, I just say that. That's just frank. Leave them behind, because if you try to take them with you, you're going to slow yourself down. So run with the runners only. Everybody is helping their agents hit field trainer. And if you haven't hit field trainer, that's your main goal. All right, you need 2 agents, 3 customers, okay? Each agent that you get is 400 points. Each customer that you get is 200 points. We need everybody to hit this goal. I said August 15th. I'm sorry, what's the end of this week? This is July. What's Saturday's date, Mary? July. 25th. Yeah, so we need to hit this goal for everybody by July 25th. So if you're not field trainer, you need to be field trainer by July 25th. That's the end of this week. We will help you if you do the work. All right. You got to know how to enroll people. So you got to know how to find your enrollment links. We will do a short video on how to do that and drop it in the chat because we don't really have that much time. Okay. Also, remember, success loves speed, so we got to move quick, all right? Now, the very first thing you want to start considering if you are trying to hit field trainer is enrolling people who are close to you. You may have a spouse. You may have some parents. You may have some siblings. You may have some friends. You may have a cousin. You may have a business partner who actually wants to enroll. So enroll them first. They will help you meet your first goal. Invite everyone that you have on your friends list to Credit and Financial Freedom Breakthrough Group. This is for everybody, whether you are brand new or not. Everybody should be adding people to that group at all times. Also, I want everybody to do number 3. Everybody today needs to make a list of 100 people using the memory jogger. That list is pretty much going to put you in a position where you have a grand opening that you're starting for your business. You want to definitely contact everybody on that list. You want to invite them to see some information, whether it's a webinar or a quick exposure. So pretty much there is a script here. I'm going to change this around. It says use it to invite people to Wednesday's webinar. This was from last week's game plan, so I'll take those dates and times out. Now, we all know when we have webinars. We have webinars every day at 8 p.m. through Power of Credit. That is a constant webinar platform. However, our team also does webinars each and every day. Sometimes they're at 9 p.m. Sometimes they're at 7 p.m. So they're usually announced the day before or the morning of. So make sure you're on the lookout for when those webinars happen. But pretty much what you want to do is you want to make sure that using that list, you're inviting people to the webinar. You want to say, hey, I hope all is well. Quick question. If you had the opportunity to have your credit score increase and make some additional money on the side, would you be willing to take a look at it? You want to get their response, because if they say yes, the next thing you're going to say is, great, I partnered up with some successful people who are launching a huge movement, and I thought about you. I'm having a private webinar on Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern or 7 p.m. Central via Zoom. I will have 2 top executives from the company on the call with all the details. If I invited you, would you tune into the webinar? Most likely they're going to say yes unless they're unavailable. All right, so perfect. Here's the link. You send them their powerofcredit.net link. That's the one that's constant. Now, if our team is having our own webinar, what you want to do is replace the Power of Credit link with the webinar that we're using for that night. Also, send this message with the link so that way people know what to do. You can also share the link with up to 3 of your friends. Make sure you download the Zoom app and set an alarm for 5 minutes in advance, because the slots will fill up quickly and I don't want you to miss out. That line right there is helping you create urgency to make people get on that webinar. You don't want them to miss it. And you want to tap root through that person. You want that person to bring you 3 more people. So that's why you're telling them to share the link with 3 of their friends, because if all 3 of those people, or 4 of those people, get on, and one of them want to become an agent, then they got 3 people that seen the information with them. 2 of them may become agents, 1 may become client. All of them may become client, all of them may become agent. So you never know. That's how you build a business. Taproot. All right. So also, if they say no, if they can't come to the webinar, but they still want the information, they can't come. What you do is say, okay, no worries. What I'm going to do is send a short video explaining all the details. Do you have 20 minutes to watch the video? If they have 20 minutes right then and there, send them Freedom 500, right? Then you want to follow up with them after they've watched the video. Make sure you time it out. Follow up with them like 30 minutes later. Thanks for checking out the video. What did you like most about the company? I know you probably have a lot of questions. I'd love to get them answered. When are you available for a phone call? Get their response. Okay, great. What's a good number to call you? I will give you a call at what time or whatever. You can also switch it around and put the power in your hands and say, I'm available to give you a call at blank. Is that okay? Now, again, before we set up three-way calls, make sure you contact your upline. Don't confirm a time with your prospect if you don't have an upline secure, because without the upline, the call can't go on. All right? Now, if they can't watch the video and if they're not getting on the webinar, okay, you're getting added to the Credit and Financial Freedom Breakthrough Group, because at the end of the day, we have live webinars that go in there too, and that's another way that people can get exposed to that information. So that is a cycle. Keep completing 1 through 3, and you will never run out of leads. Now, another thing that's also going to get you leads is posting on social media. You want to post on your timeline. You want to post in groups, and you also want to ask your clients and your prospects and your agents and things like that, your prospective agents, you want to ask them for shout outs, and you want to put them on trial runs. This is going to expose you to more people. Once you communicate, once you put a call to action post on your social media, or once you give it to someone and give you a shout out, or put someone in a trial run, then you follow up with people using the scripts. If you're talking to a client, if you put out a client call to action post, you want to use this script. Good evening, I saw your comment on my post. What type of items do you have on your credit that need to be removed? Get response. Okay, we can definitely help you. I just partnered with a finance and credit program that is helping so many people. When are you available for a call? Get the response. Okay, I'm looking forward to speaking with you. Check out my website in the meantime. And then you send them the UCES Protection Plan website. That is for clients. Right here where it's outlined, it says also flood them with testimonials they can watch before the call. Definitely do that, because people love to hear other people's stories. So make sure that you add in their stories. So that way it keeps their interest until the call.
Oh my God.
Someone's line is unmuted. Can you mute your line, please? Let me do it. Let me see who it is. Oh, they did. Thank you so much. Okay. And if you are talking to somebody who responded to an agent post, then you need to use this script. Hello name. I saw your comment on my post. What makes you want to work from home? Get their response. Okay, cool. I just partnered with a financial literacy program that is helping so many people earn additional income from home. You can build your own schedule and earn good money. When are you available for a call? Okay, great. I will call you at blank. Check out this video in the meantime. I need you to complete it before our call so that we can base our conversation off the information. These 2 scripts literally lead you to setting up 3-way calls with your mentor. We will close the people out for you. You do not have to talk to anybody. We'll close them out for you. Now, one thing that we are looking to do, because we have a number of new realtors on our team, we're actually looking to develop a realtors team within the team, so that way we can also be able to help our teammates with bringing more realtors on their team. So one thing what I would like to do is have weekly webinars that are geared toward people who are in the real estate industry. So that way we all know that once a week we can, if we're talking to realtors throughout the week, we can put them all on the same webinar. That way they're getting exposed to the information at once, and we'll close them out afterwards. So we're definitely going to be developing that very soon. I'm looking forward to that. And next week, what we're going to be discussing is how to manage your back office and also recruiting up. So that's pretty much our time for today. We are actually done for today. There is a 7 p.m. launch for brand new agents. So if you are a brand new agent, you're going to want to use the same link to join us at 7. If you are someone who is a mentor and your new agent is going to be on that launch, it's best that you get on the launch with your agent. That way you know how to guide them afterwards. So I see everybody at 7. It was amazing. This has been recorded, so I will be sending the recording out to everyone so that way you can see the full training. Have a good night, team.